Well, big news out of the Pacific Northwest as Washington, Oregon, and now other states are actively stepping up security ahead of Election Day. Worries about violence and unrest on Election Day. Here's the deal. Washington's governor, Jay Inslee, has activated the National Guard after a couple of ballot drop boxes were set on fire in the region, destroying hundreds of ballots. The Guard will be around from Monday, so today, through Thursday. How many of you are in this area and have seen the National Guard, any kind of, Humvees or otherwise taking to the streets? You would think this is like, some, Latin American country having to deal with an election. No, it's the United States of America that needs the National Guard to step up. Other states coming involved in this as well. The Guard will be around through the end of the week to back up local police to help keep the peace. Democrats say the reason they're activating the National Guard is because of Trump. They're blaming it on Trump, of course. And they're already worried that he's going to stir up violence. Democrats are saying already that Trump will declare victory on election night, no matter whether or not the returns show that he's the winner. So this is why they're girding themselves right now for a Trump victory that he's going to announce. Watch.
The National Guard is on standby for potential unrest. What is going on, Paul Dudridge?
They're calling out the National Guard in certain states. I think Oregon, Washington. We're expecting unrest on the night of the election in certain states. And I think that's probably going to be across many, certainly the swing states. But yes, already the National Guard is on alert for Tuesday night.
Now, will they disqualify Trump even if he wins? Because I'm hearing rumours that if he does win, they'll try and unwin him.
Unwin him.
Exactly. This is the rumor now that what will the Democrats do? I'll tell you the one thing we can guarantee is Trump is going to declare victory on Tuesday night. Okay? So there won't be any concession. No matter what the result, Trump will declare victory.
So,
what does unwin him mean?
Unwin him. Well, of course, this is part of the Democratic playbook already. We've heard from Jamie Raskin and others. Like, this is the plan, right? So they will disqualify him even if he does win. You'll see that now they're already lining him up with his comments about Liz Cheney, the Attorney General of Maricopa County, saying they're going to investigate these comments. Would that disqualify him under the Constitution, because he's inciting violence against Liz Cheney? They'll use any strategy they possibly can, no matter where you come down on whether you like Trump or don't like Trump. Exactly the deep state will not allow him to become president. I mean, I've said this repeatedly.
I don't like it when you say that.
I'm just reminding you all of exactly what they're going to do, which is if he wins in a landslide, we have the new Real Clear Politics average poll out today, which shows for the first time Trump winning in that Real Clear Politics average poll. But polls, other internal polling showing a landslide. Of course, the national polls have it 50-50 right now because they want everyone to vote, so they don't want anyone to have a 10-point win margin right now. If he wins in a landslide, they're going to do whatever they can to keep him from becoming president. 100% is going to be the case. So, by the way, you have Oregon. You have Governor Tina Kotek is also on alert in the state of Oregon. The Oregon National Guard isn't deployed yet, but they're standing ready, she says, if things get tense. What is that? Things are tense right now.
Yeah, that's not a hypothetical, girl.
So if things get tense. Things are tense.
I expect them kicking in my door at any moment now because it's pretty tense around here.
Philip is tense. Do you hear the anxiety in his voice, for crying out loud?
That's what anxiety sounds like in Philip. He's usually pretty steady state.
Get the National Guard out to his house. Portland's police will even have extra officers on Election Day just in case. And also other states are also preparing the National Guard for unrest. Let me know in the chat room, how many of you have family members tied to the National Guard? Have you been called up? Have there been any notifications sent out to anybody in your state? Let me know. Again, we have Washington, Oregon, and preparing in other states as well. So you should be prepared. You absolutely should. You should have emergency preparedness kit in your cars, in your homes. You should all be prepared. Not just for this. I mean, we should always be prepared, but in the case that they do something, there's, National Guard in the street, there's some sort of martial law as a result of this. I'm telling you guys, make sure you guys are prepared. Now we have the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania now ruling that ballots without dates will not be counted in the 2024 general election. So this was a strategy. They were going to have people flooding, getting all of these mail-in ballots in even after Election Day. And if they don't have dates on them, Democrats were fighting to say that we should be able to count those. Mm-hmm. No, if there's no dates on them, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court is saying they will not be counted now. So that's a big win. That's a big win for the Republicans.
That's a big win for everybody. Everybody should want fair elections and legitimate ballots.
Good point.
Right. Yeah, that's for us, for all of us. Somebody in the chat said, is Natalie a rhino? We are independents here.
Yeah.
We don't follow any one party, so don't call me names.
She's not a rhino.
I'm not. I'm a mammal.
She's a mammal. She's not a rhino. I think both parties are inherently corrupt. Of course, we talked about that ad nauseum on this show. And so, we're not afraid to pull punches on that at all, or throw punches on that. So ballots are missing for the military. Do men and women who serve our country have the right to vote in our election? It seems like the Biden Pentagon, the Department of Defense, has failed to send absentee ballots to make sure our men and women in uniform around the world can vote in this election. Active duty military. Republican lawmakers are now demanding answers from the Pentagon after the military service members complain that they have not received enough absentee ballots to vote before Election Day. So you have a couple representatives who've come to the fore on this. You have Representative Brian Mast, Bill Huizenga of Michigan, Mike Waltz of Florida, sent a letter to Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin saying they are gravely concerned that there are deficiencies in the Defense Department's protocols. How are the U.S. military supposed to vote if you haven't provided enough absentee ballots? And military members are saying, we're going to vote, and they don't have any ballots for us to vote. This is unbelievable.
That's unconscionable.
And
yes.
they've said they haven't been So wait a minute. You can send $200 billion to Ukraine on a dime like that. Oh, Zelensky needs money? Let's get it over to him. He wants some long-range weapons? Let's get them to him. But our men and women who want to vote in the election just want paper ballots, and you can't get them to them? This is unconscionable.
Right, and it's not legal. And in fact, the Justice Department had been accused of not enforcing the lack of military access to voting overseas during the Obama administration. And we had recently J. Christian Adams, who was a Justice Department lawyer, who said, well, that seems to have been fixed during the Trump administration, but now we're past the Trump administration. That's funny that it's not working again, right? So does it just not work during Democratic presidencies because that disadvantages Democrats? Weird, right? That's super weird.
Yeah, that's weird how these ballots don't show up for when Democrats are president.
Yeah.
That's amazing.